Talk Nation, salute. Welcome back, everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. First of all, I like and I want to give a special thanks, man, to all my subs, to everybody that's been supporting and showing love the last couple of weeks. The channel has been doing very, very well. So I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, the attention. I will do my best to keep good content coming, and I'm working hard only to get better. Keep in mind, man, I'm still a rookie, and I don't mind saying it because one day I'm gonna be a legend. So moving on, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. It is going down, ladies and gentlemen. League of Legends, Legends Only League. Let's get it. Mike Tyson has been training his ass off. Everybody have seen the videos. Mike looks phenomenal. Roy, hand speed, still quick. But one thing troubles me about Roy Jones, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But I know with some people out there, because I have some subs, man, in Indonesia, Mexico, some other places. So some people may not know a couple of facts about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. So let me just bring a couple of people up to speed, excuse me. Now, and I didn't even know a couple of these, well, I just didn't know their middle names. But Mike Tyson, Michael Gerard Tyson, Gerard, never knew that, Mike. You know what I mean? Roy Jones, Roy Lavesta Jones Jr. Lavesta, that's special. You know what I'm saying? Would never look at Roy Jones and think of a Lavesta. You know what I'm saying? But moving on to the tail of the tape. Age for these gentlemen, Mike Tyson is 54, Roy Jones is 51 years of age. So Mike is the senior in this fight, but he don't look like it. Between the two, Mike Tyson has 58 professional fights. Roy Jones has 75 professional fights. Mike Tyson has 50 wins. Roy Jones has 66 wins. Knockout. Mike Tyson has 44. Roy Jones has 47. So Roy Jones leads in that department by 3 KOs. Now, losses. Mike 6. Roy 9. Roy has 3 more losses than Mike in that department. And Mike Tyson has never been knocked out. Roy Jones been asleep. No contest. Mike has 2. Roy 0. Now, the last fight for Mike is June 2005. For Roy Jones, his last fight, February 2018. So Mike has been on the shelf for quite some time. 15 years is a long time to be on the shelf. Roy Jones, theoretically, he's been on the shelf for a couple of years, but he's legitimately the more active fighter between the two. Height, Mike is 5'10". Roy Jones, 5'11". Not much of a difference there. And I will never say Mike's height is a disadvantage. It doesn't matter whom he fights. He can fight the Big Show. He can fight Mount Everest. And I would never count Mike out just because he's quote unquote the smaller fighter. His fight style, his aggression, the way that he throws his shots, height really doesn't matter. It actually works to his advantage, his height. Now, nickname everybody know, Iron Mike. Roy Jones, AKA Captain Hook. Some pirate type situation. Reach, 71 inches for Mike. Roy Jones, 74 inches. We already know who's going to have the reach advantage in this department, but Roy doesn't have that much more. But could be the difference. It all depends, you know what I'm saying, on what shots that Roy throws. And going by his moniker, Captain Hook, you got to be inside close range to throw those type of shots. And he's going to get his opportunity with Mike. So now that we have that out the way, let's just talk about the fight itself. More importantly, let's just talk about some skills real quick. And we're going to start off with Mike Tyson. As you guys see some of these clips right here, you look at the knockouts. Mike and of Roy. Mike Tyson is one of the most, if not the most, devastating heavyweight puncher of all times. In today's modern era, the only one that's possibly ringing any kind of bells in a dynamite department is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Although he was not successful in his last outing between Tyson Fury, a lot of people say, you can say the glove gate, Tyson Fury cheated, whatever. Deontay, he was off in that fight. He said because the suit that he wore coming into the fight basically drained his legs, because coming from the dressing room, he had to walk up long series of steps, and the weight from his costume pretty much gassed him out before the fight even got started. That's what he said. Now, I don't believe that, but I'm moving on because, like I said, I still respect the champ, and I know Deontay Wilder is definitely working. He's definitely working on coming back to be even more dominant and devastating than ever. Tyson Fury is running for that rematch fight. But let's get back to Mike and let's get back to Roy. Mike Tyson, physically today, at his age, at 54 years of age, Mike looks phenomenal. He looks like he can go against heavyweights of today. Anthony Joshua said something as far as in the nature of basically stay in your lane. If you try to mess with the young breed, the new age heavyweights, you're going to get hurt. I don't agree with that, because I believe Mike Tyson himself, if had the opportunity, if it was a fight, he'll beat the hell out of Anthony Joshua. Now, he may get him if the fight goes late, but I don't think that fight is going to go late, because Mike is aggressive and Mike is coming at you. And Mike's movement, ladies and gentlemen, at 54 years of age, he moves better than most of the heavyweights in today's game. Tyson Fury is the most mobile, besides Usyk, heavyweight in today's game, as far as I'm concerned. Now, some people may say somebody else, but as far as I'm concerned, he is the most he moves the best. His moves and motion is very fluid. You know what I'm saying? He's defensively sound, but his footwork is very good to be a big man. Tyson Fury, to be a big man, has very good footwork. Usyk, he's also pretty mobile and pretty skilled in the movement department as far as being elusive. But Mike Tyson is not only elusive and has good movement, you know what I'm saying, but he still can pivot and turn on a dime at 54 years of age. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? How difficult and how supreme that is for somebody to still be able to come at you, a full head of steam, let off a couple of shots, and still be able to turn and pivot, you know what I mean, on a dime, and you a heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? And Mike is 54, so he can still move with the best of them. And his fight style, the way the Mike's move, oh my God. Watch those clips, because in one of those clips, Mike, let me tell you, he comes in, and you know Mike, his head movement is supreme. He comes in and he's ducking shots, you know what I'm saying? And he comes up with that left hook or that right hook or that uppercut. And if Mike catches you with it, look at Mike on the pads, you know what I'm saying, when he's training. His hook game, that's why they talking about Roy Jones, Captain Hook. Arguably, Mike could have had that same moniker, you know what I'm saying, or nickname, because Mike throws some of the most devastating hooks of all times. I'm talking about, I've seen Mike hit dudes in the head, temple, whatever, and I'm talking about you could see they soul leaving their body on some Shang Tsung type situation, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mortal Kombat. But fighting Mike Tyson is that, Mortal Kombat. Roy Jones has to come into this fight prepared. Roy Jones, his mobility is most certainly not what it used to be. Roy does not move like he used to be, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen when they did the interview for the Legends Only League and they were interviewing Roy, and Roy was basically saying like, look, you see the way Mike is training? I can't come into this fight half-stepping. Somebody go get hurt. He's also said if I do get knocked down in this fight, when I get up, it's going to be all out war. So he already has in his mind, it's a possibility if he get caught with a shot, he going down. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's the truth, because his legs ain't what they used to be. Roy Jones is kind of knock-kneed. Now, depending upon what kind of lifestyle you have, especially if you are an athlete. Now, Roy Jones is probably one of the best athletes, let alone boxers, of all time. But those years and those grinds have put a lot, as far as toll, on his body, his legs. You know what I'm saying? Because upper body movement still looks, pretty good, pretty sharp, especially since he's been training. But the thing that worries me and concerns me is his footwork. His footwork is not quick at all. It's not even partially explosive. Every time that you see Roy, you know what I'm saying, his movements are real subtle. He's really not explosive. He's really not too active. You know what I'm saying? When he checks his movement, you know what I'm saying, or resets, as they say in boxers, that's the most movement that you see. But as far as him, you know what I'm saying, like bouncing, being on his toes, going around the ring, you know what I'm saying, being aggressive as he come up, you know what I'm saying, when he's on the pads, you don't see that explosiveness too much when you see Roy. And that's what worries me, because you're not going to be able to keep Mike Tyson on the end of your jab all night. It's impossible. The only way that you're going to be able to do that is if Mike lets you. And Mike is not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Mike is a press play fighter. When you press that button, Mike is going one way, and that's right at you. He coming right at your neck. And if you are not ready to deal with that type of pressure, Mike is going to put you to sleep. And the fact that Roy, his footwork is not what it used to be, and his knees are not what they used to be, ladies and gentlemen, if you get caught with a shot, what's the first thing to go? When your brain, when those bells and whistles start popping, your legs. You know what I'm saying? You seen people when they got caught, they start doing this stanky leg. Boy, you think they doing the shuffle up in that thing. Let me tell you, if Mike Tyson catches Roy Jones with one of those shots, that might be the fight. Roy might be, or he's going to drop. And when he drops, he's not only going to be hurt, but it's going to be difficult for him to get back up, because his legs are not what they used to be. And after that interview that I just spoke about, you've seen Roy Jones running up a hill of all things. But see, the part that I'm watching is his fluidity. You know what I'm saying? I was watching him while he was going up the hill. And it looked like he was in pain. You know what I'm saying? Like it is, you know what I mean? Because like I said, Roy is knock-kneed. And if you guys don't know what knock-kneed, that pigeon toe situation, if you don't know what that is, meaning your leg, generally your stature when you stand, if you're not bow-legged, meaning your legs bow outwards. You know what I'm saying? But when you're knock-kneed, that means your legs bow inward. Now, if you're knock-kneed, and it's not like you're a regular person, but if you're an athlete and you're knock-kneed, you may have some issues, some joint issues with your legs. Now, how debilitating these issues are depends on, like I said, how much basically your body has been through throughout the duration of not only your career, but also your life. Because keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Roy was a perennial fighter, but now Roy also trains. So he's still on his feet. In other words, that's what I'm saying. He's not sitting at home in Pensacola, Florida, you know what I mean, with his feet up, chilling. He's not doing that. Roy is still somewhat active. He's still on his feet. He's still moving around. So now you're being called upon to start training again. And his body, upper body, may be able to snap back quicker than his lower half. And that's not good, because physically your body needs to be in balance. You can't be good up top 100% and your body, your legs is 30%, 40%. You can't do that. Your base are your roots. Now, if you're, like I said, Go back and check out my other video when I told people, as a fighter especially, it's a few pairs that you not only have to be mindful of, but you have to make sure that you preserve, because if you lose one of these pairs, that may be the end of your career. Now let me explain. Your vision. You have two sets of eyes. You know what I'm saying? So just like you see in a fight, if somebody get their eye closed or you have a bad cut or whatever, you know what I mean? It can hinder you in the fight. You know what I mean? You can't see certain shots coming. Your hands. You have two sets of hands. If you hurt your hand in a fight, you hurt your arm in a fight, you hurt your elbow in a fight, whatever, and you can't throw that same shot like you used to, you can't put the same power behind it. You can't throw and snap that jab because your hand is done. You're in trouble. Your feet, ladies and gentlemen, your legs, you have two sets. So if one is bad or if both is bad, you can't be in that ring. You can't be in that ring with a gimp leg. You know what I'm saying? Gimpy ankle, get it. That's the only thing that troubles me with Roy Jones Jr., aka Mr. Sylvester. You know what I mean? Sylvester Stallone. Ha. Check it out. If Mike catches Roy, because Mike likes to go to the body as well, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if he catches Roy with a shot, I'm telling you, man, if he catches him with a body shot or he hits him with an uppercut and Roy's legs go out, that's going to be it. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna be on the ground and his legs are not going to respond. He's saying, I'm gonna get back up and it's gonna be all out war. Yeah, that sounds good. And trust me, everybody wants that to happen, but your body don't lie. You know what I'm saying? You may be able to trick your body to a degree, but once that bell ring, whatever issues that you sustained and you got while you was training leading up into the fight, and if they were bad, they are going to show in your performance. Now, when you see Roy on the pads, he looks pretty good. As you can see, he looks pretty good. If you look at some of the clips, he looks pretty sharp, pretty snappy. You know what I mean? He needs to throw that jab more, because just throwing hooks and all that, doubling up on your hooks and tripling up on your hooks, that's cool, that's pretty, but be realistic. You're not going to be able to catch Mike with all of those shots. You may be able to catch him with one. You know what I'm saying? He may eat one. And that's the thing about Mike. Mike will eat a shot in order to get close. Because once he gets close, that's the danger zone for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what, because Mike will open you up like a can. You dig what I'm saying? And if you throw that shot, and like I said, if Mike comes up under it, and because you know he's coming up, he's either coming up with a hook, uppercut, or he's going down to the body to catch you with something. And I'm telling you, mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, remember your boy, aka the ghetto Stephen A. Man, it's like I got a crystal ball sometimes the way I be seeing things. And I'm telling you, if Mike catches Roy with a shot, and you know, if you're a boxing fan, when I say a shot, that means something's gonna ring your bell. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't talking about knock on the door. I'm talking about ring your bell. It's gonna wake you up. You know what I'm saying? Look, I really hope that Roy Jones is not only training, because it's good, you know what I mean, when you see these, when he's doing these little things for the video while they got the cameras rolling. But when the cameras are not rolling, I still hope that he's really putting in that work. Because I'm telling y'all, man, you look at Mike Tyson when he first began training. You know what I'm saying? When they first started talking about the Legends Only League and they was throwing different opponents out there, Shannon Briggs of the world, Evander Holyfield of the world. Shout out to Evander Holyfield because he's also training. I think at some point he's going to be a part of the Legends Only League if he's not already. And Mike Tyson has already said he will love to face Holyfield again. I think that'll be, at this point, even at the stage of their career, I think that'll be a great fight. But there again, although it'll be a great fight, it ain't gonna be a good fight for Holyfield. Because there again, mobility, you look at Evander ain't moving the same. He looks good because he's getting in shape, don't get me wrong. But his movement is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Remember I told you, your roots. You know what I'm saying? When you got bad roots, you can't grow. You know what I'm saying? You can't flourish. You can't get those shots off. Now, that's what's so impressive to me as not only as a fight fan, but as somebody who does analysis about the fight game. I am not a perennial pro, but in my opinion, I think I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I used to box, and I can look at a fighter and I can ascertain certain things. And for the most part, I've been right. And if I haven't been right, or if I am wrong, I have no problem with saying that, you know what, I was wrong. Because that ain't not wrong being wrong, because that gives you the opportunity to learn and improve and enhance and increase your knowledge base. So moving on, like I said, man, Mike Tyson is special. And at 54 years of age, the way that he is still moving, you know what I'm saying? Like Pacquiao has those massive calves, you know what I'm saying? Which leads to his massive power and speed and his movement. It's the same thing for Mike Tyson. Mike legs is like turkey legs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like them Jones is huge, cuz. You know what I'm saying? That's why he is still so explosive, because see, Mike, he doesn't just stand straight, because Mike fights him, he's orthodox. So Mike isn't just standing straight up when he's coming at you. You know what I'm saying? And he turns his gloves in, which I love. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's able to get those hooks off like he does. But Mike always fights with his knees bent. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to call him, you know what I mean? He always got the gun cocked. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's able to move like that and come up under these shots. So his legs and his footwork are still good, ladies and gentlemen, at 54 years of age. So if he can tie his hand speed and his power and his punch selection and combinations, if he can bring that up to the level of his roots, it's going to be an ugly fight for Roy Jones. It may be interesting at first, but I think when Mike turned on the gas for real, it's not going to be good for Roy. He's going to hurt Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? And I think Mike may have a Manny Pacquiao moment where he may be looking at the ref like, look, are you going to stop this? Because keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, they are going into this fight with no headgear. A lot of people say exhibition, but look, Mike has already confirmed, Roy Jones has already confirmed, this is a fight. It's being sanctioned by the WBC. The WBC, has generated a belt for this fight. So whoever wins, to some degree, is going to be a heavyweight champion. It doesn't matter how you look at the Black Lives Matter belt, whatever that's being generated. Look, you are receiving a title belt from the WBC. It's not a franchise belt, you know what I'm saying? So to some degree, you will be a champion again. You know what I mean? Depends on how you look at it. So if Mike Tyson wins this fight, which honestly, I believe that he is, will he move on to face Holyfield? Possibly. That wouldn't even be fair for Holyfield, to be honest. Because if you've seen Holyfield training, you will understand what I'm talking about as far as his movement. It ain't what it used to be. You know what I mean? So hopping up in there with Mike Tyson at this stage of your Evander Holyfield, you're not going to go very far. So the only luck will probably be somebody like maybe like Shannon Briggs or whatever like that. And hopefully he can stay away from the juice, you know what I'm saying, and train and go into the fight clean. And it could possibly be a good fight. You know what I mean? If Mike Tyson and Shannon Briggs fight, if Shannon Briggs goes in, like I said, clean, you know what I mean? Because you already know, you know what I'm saying, he like to mess around with the juice. And I ain't talking about Gatorade, you dig what I'm saying? But Mike has been training his ass off, and Mike has been on some like Drago type situation, you know what I'm saying, without the injections, as far as utilizing, you know what I'm saying, old school tactics as well as new school methods, you know what I'm saying, like you seeing with the wire Jones on, you know what I'm saying, stimulating, you know what I'm saying, the muscle groups and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, eating right, doing what he got. And Mike's still smoking weed. I don't even know if he's still smoking weed, but you know what I mean, y'all, you know Mike smoked weed. So he may still be smoking weed. So Mike's still, you know what I'm saying, blowing the herbal girdles, you know what I'm saying, and he's still moving and, you know what I mean, doing what he's doing, Roy in trouble. Straight up. Roy is in trouble. Roy's in trouble. After the fight, you know what I'm saying? Roy would probably go, Mike probably would go in the dressing room and smoke a J with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, my nigga, I know you need that. You dig what I'm saying? But let me tell you something, man. It's going to be a very, very good fight. The fight is going down November 18th, I believe, in the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Like I said, it's being sanctioned by the WBC. It is going to be a very good fight, man. Legends Only League. If you thought just because you old school, you out of school, nah. Mike, Roy is showing everybody if you still got it, you still got it. There's certain things, man, they can't take from you. Your balls and your word. And Mike and Roy is pretty much showing that. They doing what they said they was going to do. And they showing everybody, man, that if you really want to go after and get it, it don't matter how old you are. If you put the work in, you'll see results. And you can still hang with the best of them. Now, Mike Tyson taking on somebody like Deontay Wilder, like I said, or Anthony Joshua, one of the top tier heavyweights. I wouldn't laugh at it too much. I'm telling you, fight fans, you know what I mean? Early, I would say first half of the fight, Mike got a chance. But if the fight goes past 6 rounds, that's going to be their quote unquote benefit. Because Mike may gas out, because like I said, he is 54 and all, depending upon what he got in the tank. Like I said, he do smoke, but I don't know, and I don't think Mike drinks. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, just because you smoke weed don't mean your lungs is all jacked up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? So if you work hard, and your body stays in relatively good condition, I don't think that that's really going to be a hindering factor as far as your performance. That's just my opinion, you know what I mean? So going into this fight, Mike Tyson definitely has the edge, but I would like to see Roy Jones not only succeed, but I want to see him perform, man. I want it to be a good fight. I really don't want to see Mike going there and just straight crush him in the first round. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be good. The rounds are going to be 2-minute rounds, so they're going to be shorter than regulation rounds, but 2 minutes is a long time with somebody on your ass, and you can't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? But it's going to be a great fight. Definitely going to be a great fight. And speaking of great fights, ladies and gentlemen, November 7th, which is today, Devin the Dream Haney, Yuriorkis Gamboa. The fight is going down tonight in Florida. I don't know if you're going to watch the fight. I don't know if you're going to watch the fight at home, but it's going to be a good fight. Devin Haney, Floyd Mayweather's protege, some may know, very talented fighter. He's looking to go in there and destroy Gamboa. Gamboa is looking basically to bounce back. He wasn't successful in his last couple of outings, you know what I mean? Like I said, he lost to Crawford, Tank Davis, and now he's going in there to face Devin Haney. And Devin Haney is not Tank Davis, you know what I mean? Devin Haney is a very, very good boxer, and he has very good speed, which trickles into power. So it can be a very tough night for Gamboa. So I'm really looking to see how he's going to be in this fight, because during the weigh-in, I said this before, go back and check my fight analysis that I did on Devin Haney and Gamboa yesterday. I'm gonna try to link it to this video so you guys can check it out. But he looked like he made weight, but his body physically did not look like it is in fight shape. It's one thing when you make weight, because you're going to do that if you're losing weight, if you're working out or whatever. But when you cut up and you rip, that's when you know that you were training. You know what I'm saying? You weren't just working, you were training for the fight. You know what I mean? So it's one thing when you go into these fights and you're working on the game plan for whoever you're fighting, but at the same time, a part of camp is getting in shape. You can't go into camp always having to weight cut. That's why legends in the game, especially Manny Pacquiao does not go into camp being too far off of weight. You have to be disciplined, you know what I mean? Especially if you are a top tier champion or a top tier talent. You have to be not only dedicated, but you have to be disciplined to go into camp being not too far off of weight, because naturally you're going to lose weight once you start training and working out, but you don't want a fat camp. And a lot of people Tank camp for the for his last fight with Santa Cruz. They thought that was going to be a fight camp, but a lot of people seen that, guess what, that wasn't the case. Tank made weight very relatively easily, and we all seen how he looked in the fight. One of the best knockouts of the year. Recently, it was some news coming out that he was involved in possibly an accident in Baltimore. Also did a video about that. Go back and check it out. The support and love for that video has been fantastic. But guess what, fight fans? I'm gonna wrap this one up. Mike Gerard Tyson, Roy Jones, Roy Levester Jones Jr. The Fight Legends Only League is going down November 18th. Watch, listen, learn. Protect yourself at all times. Watch your body at all times. Wear your mask at all times. Catch you guys on the next one. Guard up, mask up, holla. Peace.